my people.
You guys want it? I'm bringing it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, the myth, the warrior, Marvin Constant. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome him to the show.
Yay! Roll Tide, baby, roll Tide.
How you been, man?
I've been amazing, you know. I just been working.
Now, we all know you're a school teacher, so how's the COVID thing happening?
You know, this whole COVID situation within itself, I mean, it has created problem after problem. You know, I will say this to all the parents out there who are complaining about virtual learning. I assure you, 100%, 1,000%, your kids' teachers would much rather be at school than at home doing virtual learning. Virtual learning is 1,000 times more work than actually being in the school building. I kid you not. It is a lot more work doing virtual learning than it is actually going to school.
Yeah, I know. My kids start back Thursday, and they're talking about they got to be ready by like real school. Like we were all thinking like, hey, you know, just wake up and go to school.
Oh, no. They're doing live classes. So, you know, you got to look at it. You got to build your regular school website. You got to build your website pages for your assignments. You got to do all your Microsoft Teams stuff, your Zoom stuff. You got to convert all these assignments to digital format now, making a multiple choice so that they can. I would much rather be at work than at home.
Yeah, we had to hire a nanny. Like it was like no daycare, nanny, and nannies get expensive.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, so maybe we should have Marvin Constant come nanny our kids.
Hey, they want to work out? Sure, come on.
Put some hair on your chest, kid.
Hey, we gonna put some guns on it. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna get some of those.
So everybody who's watching, Marvin was doing this prior to pressing record, and I got a little cocky. So I was like, I'm not gonna do it. But I was like, yeah, I got, and then you could just see nothing but like arm fat. And so tomorrow I'm going to the YMCA. I don't care if they're closed or not. I'm breaking in. I'm gonna lift weights. This is ridiculous, man. So last time we talked a little bit about Jermaine Funny Man Johnson. I'm a big fan. Everybody knows that. I haven't talked to him since. He won't return my phone calls. I knocked on his door a couple of times. He won't answer. How's he doing?
My cousin is doing well. He's enjoying life. So, you know, I guess he's a busy man these days. So,
yeah, I saw on the news he was going to court. They found him innocent. Does he have any more statues he want to tear down?
He hadn't said anything about it in the family group chat, so I'm assuming not. So, you know, I think he might be done for a little while, but we'll see how that goes. I know my mom might not be happy if he gets in trouble for real. So he has to be careful of that.
I bet Mom and Constant there's nobody to play with.
Oh, not at all. No.
No. If you raise a son with arms like that, I know Mama Constant is no.
Hey, listen, man. She raised me with discipline and a work ethic like you would never believe. You know, and it has taken me a long way in life.
And that's funny to me because my mom, she had to work. You know, my mom was the type of person that went to work from 9 o'clock in the morning and worked till 10 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday, and then on Saturdays worked from 9 o'clock to the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And she had a work ethic like no other when I was younger. But when she got older, she was like, the hell with it. Like, yeah, you kids need to pay my bills. Now, she wasn't really she wasn't lazy to the extent, but when she got older and got sick, yeah, it was just like, hey, that work. No, I'm sitting down.
Right.
But let me ask you this: you're talking about your mom. Was your mom the type of person that'll throw a shoe at you?
A shoe, a belt, or whatever she could get her hands on. But it was usually me opposed to my brothers and sisters.
My mom would throw a shoe in a heartbeat,
Yeah.
and it was like, because my mom was a heavy set woman, and shoes were always lying around somewhere. And I know everybody's gonna say, "Oh, you've been watching Eddie Murphy again." No, this is not, no. My mom was throwing shoes for a very long time. She loved throwing shoes, and always hit. I never seen someone who had aim like her. Like, she should have been in the gun range. Hey, I miss you, Mama. Anyway, so what you been doing? I know you called me up. No, I'm just kidding. I called you up. You said you had a little project going on, and you said I asked you. I said, hey, can you come on the show? So what you got in the works?
So one of the things that's always happened to me, people always stop me, and if I'm out and they'll stop me and they'll ask me like, "Hey, how'd you get your arms like that?" They're like, they want arms like this, the whole nine. Or occasionally I'll post something on Instagram or Facebook, and people will DM me and they're asking me questions, and I get a lot of questions about workouts and what in particular I do diet wise. So I finally said, you know what? Not getting any younger. Why not write a book that will help people 40 plus to understand what it takes to get in shape? Because you got to understand something. Getting in shape at 40 is not the same as what you see these 20 and 30-year-olds in the gym doing. Like, you'll never catch me in the gym trying to bench press 400 or 500 pounds. I did that when I was 20 years old. That serves me no purpose. At no point in my day do I have to be a superhero and lift the car off somebody. So my workouts are strictly designed to maintain your health and for your clothes to fit properly and for you to just feel good about yourself.
Now, let me ask you this: feeling good for yourself, blah, 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 feeling good about yourself. How important is eating?
Eating is essential to that, because you got to understand something. The body's only designed to hold so many calories and so many carbs per day. When you start exceeding those limits, the body is going to pack weight on. If you're too low, the body's going to be frail and you're going to look like a stick figure. So, you have to find that common balance that works for your body and what your ultimate goal is. I mean, nutrition is essential. For me, most people say it's 90-20, some say it's 90-10, some will say it's 80-20. For me, I say it's 70-30. 70% diet, 30% working out. Because you can diet and eat right all day long, but that workout has to have a heavy focus. And for me, that focus has to be greater than 10 to 20%.
And that's so funny because, just the other night, I told my wife, who's a vegan, she's 100% vegan. She's been the vegan for the 10 years we've been married, and she's been wanting me to get on the vegan train. And I'm like, But so yesterday I said, you know what, I'm gonna get this. I'm gaining weight. Last year, I lost, so much weight, and then I gained so much. Now this year, I gained so much weight back, and I'm like, well, I gotta do something. I'm gaining all my weight back. Right. And I said, we're gonna try this vegan thing out. And then about 10:45, 15 minutes before Papa John's closes, I was like, I gotta order pizza. I'm hungry. So yeah, I don't know this vegan thing is gonna work, but it's got to, because here's the kicker. I quit drinking Cokes for a whole year. I haven't had a Coke or a beer. And anybody that knows me, Coke and beer was like the number one thing in the world to me.
Right.
I wake up in the morning, I had that drink Cokes all day. Never had a water a day in my life. beer was 7 days a week. And you know, once I cut that out, my weight went down.
Right.
However, this year, even though I hadn't had a beer or a Coke in over a year, I'm gaining my weight back. And so, I mean, my point is this: what would somebody like me have to do to? I'm starting to eat right. Do I need to? And you know, I'm not as physical. You know, I'm not. I don't have the vitamin D arms like you have. What would I have to do to start getting my weight down?
Well, the biggest thing is calories and carbs. Those are your two biggest indicators for weight loss and weight gain. I'm not going to say that calories is the most important because that's what most people assume. Most people always say it's calories, calories, calories. I am the complete opposite. It's carbs, carbs, carbs. For me, I keep my carbs under 50 grams a day. I keep my calories under 1,500 a day. That's how I function. Now, does that mean I don't eat a lot of food? No, because I also eat 150 grams of protein a day. You see, so you got to find that balance that works for your body. You'd be amazed. There's so many foods that you could actually eat that are low in calories and zero carbs. And I mean, and you will be full. You know, usually the body takes about 3 to 5 days to adjust to it. And usually after that fifth day, you know, it gets easier. And then once you get to about that 2 to 3 week period, it gets even easier. And then at that point, you know, it becomes a lifestyle. So once
Well, 150 grams. When you pee all that out?
protein,
Yeah.
does it look like I'm peeing it all out? Does it look like my protein is going anywhere? And mind you, I don't eat more than 1,500 calories a day. So to have this body and not be consuming more than 1,500 calories, does it look like my protein is going anywhere other than where it's supposed to?
So 1,500 calories a day. How many times a day do you eat?
Three. I eat 3 meals a day. I allocate 500 calories per meal. Mm-hmm.
Well, that takes discipline.
Well, again, you know, 3 to 5 days is the adjustment period. Once you get to that second or third week, the body's a lot more receptive to it, and then it starts to become a lifestyle, you know? So, like for me, for breakfast, I'm going to eat my 2, maybe 3 scrambled eggs, 70 calories per egg with all that protein. I'm going to eat my turkey sausage, which is usually around 180 calories with 15 to 20 grams of protein. So I'm going to walk out of my breakfast at 400 and some calories. So I still got extra calories for lunch, which is usually going to be a baked or grilled chicken breast, salmon, something along those lines, probably with some type of squash or some type of vegetables. And I'm going to go into dinner with another 500 calories. And I'm going to do something different for that. And if it's a day, because I love cheeseburgers, if it's a day I know I'm going to have a cheeseburger, I compensate for that throughout the day. I know that if I'm going to have a cheeseburger, it's usually going to be a bubble burger. Bubble burger is 400 calories, zero carbs. So I got to account for them 400 calories. I got to account for that 120 calories from that bun. I got to account for those 24 grams of carbs that are in that bun. So I'm going to pull all that out of what I had in today to make sure that when I have it at night, it still does not throw me out of whack.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a lot of math. And people in Alabama, if you're watching, we're gonna have to start adding. But no, my wife has a degree in exercise science, so she's big on the health. I mean, you know, you see me and you see my wife, you can be like, what's she doing with him? Like, what the like? She could have got so much better.
Right.
But she looks at the guy with the good credit.
That's a plus two.
Yeah. But she ruined it, by the way. Anyway, my wife. Anyway,
He's gonna get you.
yeah, I love you. She's shaking her head. You know she don't talk, right? She knows better. Like when Daddy's recording, there's no talking.
When they just give you that nod, like,
yeah,
you know you're in trouble.
yeah. The other day, this how smart this woman is.
Mm-hmm.
We had Sean Cannon. You remember Sean Cannon? He was on Karate Kid Part 3. Mike Barnes,
Mm-hmm.
General Hospital, and we had him on the show. And she said, "Would you ask a question for me?" And she wrote the question down. I didn't pay no attention. I was getting my notes, started and everything. And she wrote a piece of paper. And so I was talking to Sean, and we're going to talk about Karate Kid, and is he going to be on Cobra Kai, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, "Well, hang on, my wife has a question for you." And I picked the note up, and the first thing it said, "Will you take your shirt off?" And I read it to him like an actual question, and I was like, "What the jackass?" I was like, but that's just my wife for you. But back to this book, physical and mental health, physical and mental wellness after the age of 40. Did I say it right?
Physical and mental fitness at 40 plus.
At 40 plus.
Yeah.
What now? You said that a lot of people come up to you, and that's the reason why you wrote the book.
Right.
One thing that you talked about in the last interview was your battle with depression.
Mm-hmm.
How would this book help with, people can be healthy physically, and you all healthy physically.
Right.
Mentally, is this going to help people that is battling with depression?
One of the things I actually talk about in this book is how to deal with certain situations in life that create situational depression. Whether it's, you're working at a job that's a dead-end job that you never thought you'd work at, whether you got divorced, whether you got a kid with somebody and it's all turmoil, constant court battles. I mean, there's so many situations that create situational depression. I call them anchors. So I talk about letting your anchors go in this book, and how releasing that anchor is going to allow your life to float. Because again, if you put an anchor on a boat, what is it going to do? It's going to hold it in place or drag it down. You put an anchor on a hot air balloon, it's going to hold it down. Once you release that anchor, it allows you to elevate your life. You have to learn how to release those anchors. And I do talk about, different techniques on how to release that anchor to live your best life. Because one thing that never has changed over time, what do people always say? Misery loves company. So the miserable people are going to do everything in their power to keep you miserable. How do you release that anchor to get rid of that misery to elevate your life? Because the best thing that you can do to a miserable person who's trying to hold you down is to live your best life and let them see that no matter what they do, they will never affect you.
Well, yeah, that's one thing that me and my wife talk about all the time with our jobs. Being a private investigator, you work by yourself.
Right.
But with my second job, I'm not gonna say no names, but you got people there that will just, it's like, dude.
Those are those anchors I'm talking about. You got to learn to release the anchor, because when you release the anchor, you can elevate.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna release the anchor and go to prison. But it's like, he snapped. He released the anchor.
No, not like that. We're not. See, you're going to destroy the anchor. We're not talking about destroying the anchor. We're talking about releasing it. That's two different things. We're talking about just cutting it off. You want to go.
Everybody asks me what during the interviews, what do I drink? Well, I drink a gallon of water a day.
Right.
So everybody you always drinking a jug. Like, what are you drinking? Water. It's water. Is it moonshine? No, it's water.
I drink 2 to 3 water a day, so I know.
So what now?
I drink 2 to 3 gallons of water a day, so I know.
I thought I was doing something with a gallon.
Yeah, I don't know less than 2 gallons of water a day.
You ever heard of water poisoning? Jesus loves me.
Well, the way that I work out, I have to stay hydrated. That's the key to not cramping up, not locking up, because I push my body to limits that most people would be like, what is he thinking about? So if you're going to do, again, like right now, I'm doing about 5,100 reps when I work out in an hour and a half. You do 5,100 reps in an hour and a half, your body is going to hate you.
Yeah. I hate you already.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna be hating. There's people. Look, there's like I talked to a guy, Tyrone Smith, and we were discussing. There's people that they're go-getters. They're gonna go out and get it, no matter where their background comes from. They're gonna get it. And people like him, people like you, y'all go getters. It is what it is. There's people that are gonna sit there and make excuses. And there's people, hey, whoever you looking at, you tell them, hey, go away.
Yeah. Excuses will never get it done.
Now, did you hear what I said?
What's
Wherever
that?
you look at, you tell them, hey, it's Joey time. You tell them, no.
No, I was looking in my gym. I thought I heard something in there. No, because I got like a real gym in my house. So
It's the ghost of Bear Bryant tell you do 150 more reps.
not in my gym. So I hope. My friends all make jokes. They ask me how much is membership over here. So
I'm gonna have to ask this because people are gonna ask. I gotta feel people are gonna ask me. Are you gonna show people the gym?
if they want to see it, I'll show them. Yeah.
Okay, show it.
Yeah, I'll show you the gym.
Let's see what the membership will cost. Hold on. Marvin Constance Gym, ladies and gentlemen.
How do you rotate this screen?
You turn it around.
Without turning it around. You can't just rotate on the phone?
Yes. Yes, I'm not editing this out either, by the way. I want to show people how it should be on mine, there's a little button that you can push.
I'm looking for it.
Oh, you took a snapshot. That's ugly.
I hit the wrong button.
Just turn it around.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You got a sauna, leg press, got a lat pull down with the row, got a shoulder press, got a bench press with tricep. I got a curl machine, got a leg extension, leg curl. Yeah, we got rubber floor. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, got benches over here. Got plate weights. Got a rack full of bands, stopwatches, ab wheels. All the other accessories you might need. It's a real gym.
Damn. Where's the steam room? Where's the tanning machine?
Hey man, if you're gonna train,
hey, I said, where's the tanning machine?
Do I look like I need a tan? I just need to keep the guns tight. You know what I'm saying? As long as the guns are tight,
Oh man, yeah, you got an impressive gym, man. I mean, that took some money.
Yeah, it did.
It took not only money, it took some time because I tried to build a gym 2015, and I put about $3,000 into it, and and I was a correction officer at that point, so yeah, I was getting the arms, and if you go back on my Facebook, you're a friend on there. You go back on like 2015, you'll see me, doing this, and you see the arms was developing, and
right.
But after I got a correction officer, I didn't have to slam somebody on the ground. I was like, I guess it's back.
I'll tell you a funny story about this gym. When we got this house, right? My fiance, she was at work. She had no clue about this gym. So I made sure that the gym went in the house first before anything else. So she comes home and she walks in there like, so you really just gonna put a whole gym in here, not say anything about it? Hey, look, before we bought furniture, that was a gym in literally the first day one.
Oh, you have no idea. Like people, if you're single, you cannot make. It's better to ask for forgiveness than ask permission, because if you ask permission, it's going to be hell. They may say yes, but it's going to be hell. It's like, well, it'll take 2 weeks for them to come up with the decision, and it's like, man, just put the damn gym in.
I don't ask permission. I just do stuff, and then once she sees it, I'm like, be like.
You just gave everybody the gift of life right there. You should write. I mean, that is it. Like, if you're married, just do it, and just do it. Because you ask permission, it's not going to go well.
See,
just do it.
See, I can talk about this. So in the backyard, when we bought the house, the previous owners left a swing set back there. I got rid of the swing set. Some people were mad at me that I got rid of the swing set. I got rid of the swing set for a reason. I know she's not going to watch this interview, so I can talk about it. You know, she doesn't know this yet, but I'm putting a pool back.
Oh, you sure you want to do that?
Listen. By the time she realizes,
you don't get. No, it's not that. It's not because the wife thing. It's not. It's the work. Like, you know how much work's gonna be involved in that?
I'm not doing it. I'm paying someone to do it.
You know, I don't care how much money you got. You know how expensive it is to maintain a pool.
Oh, I know how to take care of a pool. That's when I was actually in high school. I worked at a hotel where my dad was the maintenance man. That was my job. I was
right
of the pool. So yes, that's I maintain that pool every year. So that part's easy.
Oh, okay. Well, I refuse to get one. Well, luckily we got a house now. The old house we had level.
Right.
House, the backyard is slanted and slants. You know, so we're lucky. I don't have. My wife been wanting the pool for a very long time, and now it's like, nope, can't get one.
Well, you can get a ground fiberglass pool for 15, 20 grand.
She watches this stuff. Stop.
Hey, listen, I know mine's not gonna watch it, but she does not have a clue. So by the time she come home and realizes what's going on, they're gonna be back there digging the hole for it. So, so at that point, you know, what can you say when they're already digging the hole?
Put your ass in it.
Why? Because I'm giving you a swimming. I don't even swim.
But see, here, Marvin, see, here's the thing. See, we live two different lives because you look like you. I look like me. My wife can get somebody that looks like you. So I need to just kind of just like, hey, chill out. You know, just I got certain boundaries I can still push. You know, but we're not all Marvin Constant. My wife's a little attractive. You know, so I try to. I'm still the man in the house.
Right.
But I use psychology. You know what I mean? I don't, I don't have the arms, But back to the book before I get divorced. When is this book going to drop?
On my 41st birthday, August 29th.
Oh, and if I wanted to buy this book, where would I get it?
You can buy it from the book's website. You can pick it up on Amazon. They'll have a Kindle version, the whole nine. Whatever your reading preference is, it'll be available.
The book's website. What's the website? Or are we going to have to guess it?
No, you don't have to guess it. It's 40plusstrong.com.
All right. 40 plus what?
Strong.com. But it's only between the plus and strong. I'll give you all the information that you'll have. You can have it on the day of release. Yes, 40plusstrong.com. I know that's a dope website, right? You got it, right?
Well, before we got the book information. We got the book, everybody wants to hear Alabama stories. And I told you beforehand, I said, come up with a couple of Alabama stories to let the fans know, tell some embarrassing Sean Alexander stories. We got to hear something. The masses want to hear the legend talk. So what do you got?
All right. So one of my good friends, Terry Jones Jr. I don't know if you remember Terry or not.
Tight end?
Yep. Played tight end, played for the Ravens, played for the...
I think you told us this story.
What was this one about?
When you knocked the hell out of him?
Nah, they said what this one was about.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
Football. So Terry, he actually called me this morning. We were talking, and he wants to come work out with me. He wants me to get him back in shape. And like when I say we've been friends since high school, I've been knowing Terry Jones since I was in the 8th grade. So we've been friends for a very long time. Same middle school, same high school. But so one day we were all, we all lived in the same complex, right? In the Highlands and on campus. I would always play jokes on people. So, like, no matter what the joke was. So, for instance, Mariko Portis, him and this other lineman, I can't even remember who it was, but they lived together. They lived beside Terry. So one day, because I used to fish a lot. So I caught a catfish. It was probably a 5 to 7 pound fish. You know, on the AC unit, you got an intake vent that sucks air in. So it's in the middle of June. I take this dead fish and I put it in their intake vent. So it's blowing that dead fish scent into their apartment, right? They're all pissed. And when I say they cleaned those apartments for a month straight, they can never figure out where that smell was coming from.
How long did it take for them to find it?
Somebody finally told on me after about a month. Listen, they were a month, and you're talking into June and July in Tuscaloosa when it's 100 degrees, and that dead fish, it was rotten. I mean, and they got the AC on 60 on, not on auto, on. So they don't realize that they're blowing the scent into their apartment.
That is messed up. Why would you do something like that?
I used to mess with people all the time. So Terry one day, right? He lives beside him. So that was bad enough. So one day I go by all these fireworks, right? You know what? You know the artillery shells, right?
No.
Huh?
No.
You're not familiar with fireworks, the artillery shells?
No.
The ones that shoot up in the air with the big boom and stuff flies everywhere?
Yeah. I just didn't know the name of it.
So one day I have a bag with the boxes in them. I go to Terry's house. I don't know what I was thinking about this day. I said, you know what would be funny? If I light this whole bag on fire in his living room. I lit that bag in his living room. Can you imagine those things fly everywhere? He was so pissed. Now, that was the one time when I took it too far. I will admit. He wanted to kill me.
Marvin, I gotta ask you, did you fight a lot when you was a kid?
I did. Now, hold on. But on the football field, I picked on everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Now, I will tell you this.
Even the coaches?
Even the coaches, yeah. But no, not like that one. Okay, so prime example. Chris Samuels, the all-pro, right?
Yeah.
Have we ever talked about Chris?
No.
So,
I honestly, be honest with you, I forgot that he even played on the team you played on.
Yes, I played with Chris for a few years. So, look, everybody knew in practice, if you seen me coming, you better get out of the way because this brings it. So one day we're in practice, right? And the offense is running the play, and I had a coach called the blitz. And my blitz required me to run through Chris's gap, right? Me being me, I didn't run through the gap. I ran straight through Chris's numbers. I hit him square in the chest. And all you seen was Chris fly up in the air and back on his neck. Boom! He turned half a flip. Chris jumps up. Oh, hell no. Repeat it. He's going to
the story in the first interview.
Well, see, my goal wasn't to hurt anybody. You know, I mean, just being honest, I was 18 years old, benching 460 pounds, squatting 600 and some odd pounds. That's not normal for an 18-year-old. So even when I got to Alabama, you're talking about Oklahoma drills, right? I'd be in line for Oklahoma drills, and the person who I'm supposed to go with, one of them, okay, he has to go for an equipment checkup. So another guy, he'll see that, oh, now he has to go with me. Oh, he has an issue with his shoe. He needs to go deal with that. Then another guy move up. Oh, he has to go see the trainer. I'm like, does not anybody want this? You know, it's like, come on, man, it's just Oklahoma drill. We just having fun. Come on. Like, it'd be funny to watch how many people were ducking and dodging me. Like, really? Come on.
Hey, man, you gotta make yourself look good in front of the coaches, man. You can't be playing with the bad boys.
Well, they knew going against me, it was not going to be a W for them. Not taking L's from anybody, man. I don't care what drill we were doing in practice. Mm-hmm. I was not going to let you defeat me. I mean, we'd be in practice and I would be out there wearing their asses out. Son Alexander, he wasn't exempt. All you hear is Dubos hollering, "Stay off of Sean." Like, you better get out of here. Stay off of his ass, because as long as he's in here, he's not exempt. He's gonna get the same thing that everybody else is getting.
Man, what was Sean like as a person playing with him?
Sean was cool, man. He was a little different in terms of his way of thinking, but looking at that age, you didn't understand his way of thinking. But as an adult looking back, you realize that he was thinking, future forward, meaning he was really building his brand, at an early age. He was marketing himself. He put himself in a great position to market himself, throughout his entire life, which was amazing because most kids don't think that way in college. So, you think, oh, well, he's just doing X, Y, and Z. He doesn't want to do this, do this, do this. It is not until you look back and you realize that, oh, he was just preparing himself to market himself throughout his entire life. So, you can tell the kids who have that support system in their life before they get to college and while they're in college, opposed to a kid who just shows up and says, hey, I'm here. What do we start? He clearly had a well-defined support system in his life that helped him, build his brand throughout college and as he moved into the NFL.
I mean, he was one hell of a running back. Golly.
But I used to wear his ass out in practice. You do. Stay off for Sean.
Stay off for Sean. Remind me, who was your quarterback? That was Watson. Andrews out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dubose was more concerned of Sean Alexander because to me, the limited knowledge of football I had, the running back wasn't exempt. Quarterbacks were exempt. You know what I mean?
Sean was a Heisman Trophy candidate at the time,
which
he meant absolutely nothing because you were on the other side of the ball, so you weren't exempt for anything that I had going on. If you were on the other side of the ball, you were fair game. That was my motto. I could care less that you up for a Heisman Trophy. Hey, man, you're going to get the same work that everybody else getting.
Well, we're about almost out of time. So any other Alabama stories you want to share with anybody? You know what? Share Mike DuBose story.
Mike DuBose. Coach DuBose. Coach, he was a great coach, man. I will say this, we did a great thing with him in 1999, despite all the challenges that we actually had. But I will say my freshman year of 1998, I think Coach was out of his mind. This was before all the NCAA regulations that these kids have now. Because, now they do a 2-a-day one day, then they have one practice the next day, then they do a 2-a-day, right? Those are the new NCAA regulations. When I was in school, we did 3-a-days.
Yeah, you told me about the 3-a-days.
I really think there was days when Coach was trying to kill us. Like, Coach, there's only so much the human body can take. You're talking about 3 practices a day in Tuscaloosa in that heat. Oh my God. The thing about playing football, and I'm gonna agree with DuBose, with Tuberville, with any coach, football is not like any other sport. You have to separate the weak from the strong. Basketball, anybody can shoot a jumper. There's no pressure. Baseball, anybody can catch a ball in the outfield, stand in the batter's box. It's a little bit of pressure, but nothing like football. In football, there was a different dynamic that most people will never understand. There's something about when you got a 300 and something pound man that runs a 4.6, 4.7 40 bearing down on you. If you don't have mental toughness, mental intestinal fortitude, you're going to lose every time.
But no matter how you look at it, you're going to war.
Exactly. You have to be mentally prepared for that. You have to, because I know I'm standing in this box. I know I got these 5 offensive linemen over here that are all 300 plus pounds that want to knock me out. But I got to win. I got to win by all means necessary. So, if you got any doubt, if you're worried about anything, you're never going to win. So, it's almost like you gotta reprogram them and brainwash them to understand that no matter what obstacle is on the other side of that ball, you're gonna win 10 out of 10 times. And if you don't go into it with that mentality, it's never gonna work. Football is truly a gladiator sport. That's what it is. You made the best man win. And I'll be honest with you, the biggest man doesn't always win because I went against linemen day in and day out that outweighed me by 50, 70 pounds. And not one of them ever whooped me, ever, whether it was in practice or in the game. You'll be hard pressed to find any lineman to ever tell you that he blocked me.
Well, I know I'm happy that I never got to block you. So before we go, you and me been talking. You want to go ahead and share with the people what you and me been talking about?
This book?
No, I'm talking about what the other thing you've been talking about.
Thing. Yeah.
The thing, yes.
That thing.
Yeah.
We talked about it, and I've always wanted to get into broadcasting / journalism when it comes to actual TV shows and sports. So we're putting the idea together of actually doing a joint show, one that will bring you insight like you could never imagine, because for the fans, they want that insight from the former players, and a lot of them, they're hesitant to say what they really feel because they're worried about how it'll be used against them. But when they're talking to one of their friends, somebody, who they're comfortable with, it's amazing the things you can get out of them. So we're going to bring that whole dynamic to your show. We're going to bring in relaxed athletes from across the country that are comfortable. And, because again, when you get an athlete to drop their guard, the things that they'll tell you you will die laughing half the time, because the stuff that goes on is actually very funny. It's usually not that serious. It's always funny. So, being able to get them to drop that guard, I think it's going to bring a whole different, dynamic, the uniqueness that is going to take this show to a different level.
So bottom line is this: Marvin Constant is coming to Carolyn's Treasure Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to name the show already. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marvin Constant Show. That's going to be the name.
But I don't like that name, but we'll work on that. Because this has been your baby. It has to be a name.
I'm still gonna have the Sundays interviews. I'm still gonna be working with Raphael, but people gotta know who. I'm from Alabama. People gotta know who you is.
You right.
We tell them.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, first guest, first show out the gate, Freddie Millens. We're gonna do that. Freddie was my roommate in school, man. That's my guy. Me and Freddie talk on a weekly basis. Freddie's my guy, man. We were roommates for years.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay, maybe we'll work on the name, but Marvin Constant is going to be in the name. I'm telling you right now, because this is exciting, because what you don't understand is that I'm personally going to sit back. I'm going to ask a couple questions, blah, 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 but I get to see an Alabama legend talk to other football players. And not all of them are going to be taught from Alabama, but a lot of them will be. And I don't even have no idea who's going to be on the show yet. So it could be somebody like, I don't know, Jay Barker, or
you know what? You never know, because just like yesterday, my phone rings yesterday. Who do you think is calling me yesterday? I just see one name and I pick up. So it's three of them on the phone. It's Ahmad Galloway, Kenny Smith. You remember Kenny? Played for the Patriots. Yeah. Gerald Dick, who's the current general manager for the XFL team in DC. So all three of them on the phone just calling me to just talk crap. It was like, so you never know who it's going to be.
You're not going to know, ladies and gentlemen. Marvin Constant, now officially member of the Carolyn's Treasure Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. This has been exciting. I got the Alabama legend here today to talk about his new book that starts off August 29th. Go to the website, pick it up. Any other places you can go, Amazon, any places like that?
Able to get it on Amazon as well. So, and it's a beautiful book. It's a dope book, man. Anybody who's looking to enhance their life, because the thing about it, just because you get older, that doesn't mean you have to lose your edge. That doesn't mean you have to lose who you are. 40 does not define you. You should define it. Take your life, control it, make the most of it. Don't let your life control you.
That's right. Marvin, it's always an honor. It's always my privilege talking to somebody like you, man. I say this humbly. You're one of the most amazing people. Mentally, yeah, I think physically you're amazing too. So
I try.
So everybody else, this was a special episode. Thank you for watching. And watch out, Marvin Constant, Carolyn's Treasure Shop is going to happen. Watch out for it. Everybody else, Marvin, stay on the line. Everybody else, you know what time it is. Subscribe.
Kelsey, I got $175, baby.
All my friends have one.
I don't care if all you teachers have one. I'm not giving you $175.
That's not fair.
That life ain't fair, girl. You need a job. Sky!
What, did I fart?
Scott, what are you doing on the computer?
What? I'm on Carolyn's Treasure Shop Facebook page where you can get real championship belts, championship ring replicas, bracelets, and now smartwatches. And I don't have to sniff anyone's butt to get a good deal.
Yeah, Daddy, you should give her your credit card number.
When did you learn to talk?